got to know what's going to pull yourself back up by 3:00 and go home and kiss your wife and kiss your kids and be at peace.
And I want a good show, damn it. Ready for a good show?
Doing awesome, yeah. I'm excited to talk to you, Angie. Thank you for having me.
Yes!
Always been doing big into archery, and my dad said, "Hey, you guys want to start an archery store?"
Yes, that's how it always is.
Yes, of course. Let's do this together.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the E-Comm Show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the E-Comm Show. I'm your host, Andrew Maff, as usual. And today I'm joined by the amazing Stephane Jean Baptiste, who is one of the co-founders of Kreyòl Essence. Stephane, how you doing, man? You ready for this good show?
We're great. We're great. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor. Really love the knowledge that you're giving to the rest of the world of this e-com business, the startup life. So when you reach out, I was like, let's do it.
I love it, man. I appreciate that. So I know you're a listener, which is fantastic. I would love to do the usual, which I know you know, do the normal boring thing, kick it off, let everyone know they don't know who you are. Tell us a little bit about your background, a little bit about Kreyòl Essence, and we'll kick it off from there, okay?
Absolutely. So Stephane Jean Baptiste, as stated. So who am I? I'm just a little Haitian boy who dreams and who sees life in movies, right? So I actually was born in Haiti. I grew up in the Northeast, so Boston, Massachusetts. Shout out to 617 peeps. And did undergrad at Temple University in Pennsylvania, Philly. And that was a really great experience for me. It just really gave me an opportunity to get out in the world. Philly's one of the best locations. You got the DMV down there.
Preach.
You got New York right there. Exactly. So I loved it. And that's where I met E-Comm, my co-founder and my life partner as well. The business idea came from us really working. We worked a lot within the Haitian community, respectively, before we got together. And, she was going to an event, wanted to look her best, looking for her husband, some schmuck over at, the Cornell, Wharton School at Penn. And,
Nice.
We connected there. But the next day she washed her hair, it all fell out. And that's because she experienced excessive heat damage. And because we're both Haitian American, she called her mom. She was like, look, what was that oil that really helped grow my hair when I was a kid? And she mentioned the Haitian black castor oil, which I got a nice little bottle over here for you.
Nice.
Haitian black castor oil is something within the Haitian community we use for medicinal purposes, for therapeutic purposes, aromatherapy, and primarily hair growth. It's one of the few oils that actually penetrates deeply into the skin, diminishes inflammation that you might be suffering in, and promote the hair follicles to grow. And so once we dug the science and then coupled it with just the social impact work that we can do in Haiti, it was a no-brainer to start a business. And so this is where we are. We're 9 years in. Whoa.
Jeez. Still going.
Still going. But it's been a journey. It's definitely been a journey, a beautiful journey. It's exposed us to so many different things, meeting some dope people, both within beauty, both within e-commerce. And also like the gratifying thing is creating work here in Miami where we're located, and creating work in Haiti for local farmers and women producers.
Beautiful. Tell me a little bit about the social justice side of it, the stuff that you're doing that's kind of going back to Haiti. Like what's that tie?
Absolutely. So very early on, when we realized what this business idea and what we had on our hands, traditionally this is a product in Haiti that's done by women. So it's sourced. The seeds are sourced from local farmers, passed over to the women in various communities. They crush it. They make the oil. And so we saw it as an opportunity to create work for women, specifically in the Haitian sector. In the past, we've actually worked with an organization called Fun Cause, where they recruit and they hire women from, I would probably say the unbanked is the term that they use, in which that we create an opportunity for them to go through a life development, a life workshop, courses, and then at the end they work with us to plant the castor pods, cultivate the seed so that we can use it as a raw material in our formulations. And, we also looked at the GDP exporting out of Haiti. So much comes into the country, but we're not exporting a lot. And as anybody know, within just basic finance, GDP is how you grow a country, how you grow an economy. And so we wanted to create an opportunity of sourcing the castor oil, sourcing our raw ingredients from Haiti so that we can really do our small share of improving the GDP down there.
Nice. So I imagine starting off a business like this where you're not really creating a new you are creating a new category, but you're creating a new category here in the States where it just wasn't known. So how did you build that brand? How did you get that word out? How did you kind of get that motion and get things going?
Hitting the pavement, bro. We started off, we were blessed to participate in an incubator at Cornell, around the time in 2014 when we were first launching the business. And one of the main things that stuck with us was MVP, minimum viable product. Once we understood that concept, we had one small bottle and I actually have a graphic design marketing background. And so I was able to whip together the logo, our initial label, source some bottles. With that, we traveled from every conference that we can get our hands on, whether it was a beauty conference, whether it was a conference related to Haiti, conference related to social impact and patient capital and financing. We wanted to get the word out. And the MVP was more so, do we have a viable business here? Is this something that you will buy from me? At what price point? We would do customer discovery exercises of going to the retailers and say, hey, do you actually have a white space for this? Is this something that you can actually use? Are your customers suffering from hair loss and need products for scalp care and wellness? So we just did the initial work and then just hit the pavement, going from show to show, conference to conference, event to event. We did a lot of pitch competitions in the early years and that's how we funded a lot of the business of just $1,000 here, $2,000 there to then put into product development. From there, this is way before, digital ads and digital marketing was blowing up and ads were being done on Facebook. So a lot of it were, we shied away from the traditional PR because we just couldn't afford it. We would essentially just tap into friends and family, those that we knew from undergrad, that would essentially give us a platform to really talk about the business.
And where's the product primarily available now? Is it just on the website or are you available anywhere else?
Yeah, no, for sure. So we are digitally native, right? So at our core, we're an e-commerce brand. But in 2019, we actually signed with Ulta Beauty. Actually, let me go before that. Whole Foods was our first retailer. For us, it was, again, to your point, as far as distribution and getting more of our early adopters to understand who we were and what we had to offer. Whole Foods for us, especially within the immigrant community, anywhere that you go to, Haitian or not, like it was sort of like the cream of the crop, right? You get to Whole Foods. Yeah. And we also wanted a retailer partner where our customers and our tribe can go in there and get that white glove treatment that we felt they were not getting in traditional beauty supply stores or other points of distribution. And so being able to go into the aisle, have a buyer there, have someone that has really talked to you and educate you about the product was something that was near and dear to our heart when we started. And then in 2019, we realized that we also did want to identify and have a beauty retailer in which our entire assortment would be available. And so Ulta came to our rescue. It's been a wonderful relationship thus far. We're nationwide, so you can find us at all 1,300 doors that they have available. And find our full assortment of our castor oil, our scalp care products, in addition to our moringa styling products.
The question that I have to ask, and I hate asking it, but have you thought about venturing into Amazon, or have you already done it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I'm going to tell you about the Amazon story, right? So
please do.
We started off Amazon as soon as we launched, right? Amazon was popping. I'm an Amazon shopper. I'm an e-commerce dude. Like I rarely go to stores. Like I'm on Instacart all day. So nice. Amazon was a no-brainer for us. But managing that omni-channel approach very early on, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. You know, we even got dinged by Amazon because we were taking too long to get shipments out. And so we realized we
It
had to,
happens.
yeah, it was fun. But, you know, we saw the immediate purchases and attraction. You know, I was literally on all the time looking at reviews, adjusting things. It just became too much at the time, and especially managing our website and the Amazon distribution. And we always knew that we did want to go on the omni-channel approach and getting a retailer. So for me, as the sole COO at the time, handling operations, it was just way too much for us to really follow Amazon's rules and be successful. Right. You know, I think the main thing with Amazon is it's really, you have to know your margins. You have to know essentially the best ways to bundle your products so that you don't lose your shirt with ads. You don't lose your shirt with regards to stocking fees. So those were the things that now, years later, we're now going back into managing our full Amazon channel. We worked with third-party sellers over the years, and they've done a really great job, you know, keeping the store afloat, building it out for us. But now, you know, we want to be able to offer some exclusive products that they might not have available that they're selling, or you might not be able to find on our website. And we found that that was a good strategy for us to get back into it.
Yeah, I've always found that, especially now as time has gone on, because FBA fees are getting insane. Cost per clicks are just going up as there's more and more competition. I think Amazon's an awesome like acquisition channel to start introducing people to the brand that maybe didn't know about it. But relying solely on Amazon,
it's tough.
I don't know how people are still doing it. It's just, it makes no sense.
Yeah,
but
you know,
teach their own.
Everyone, yeah, you know, you jump on YouTube. Oh my God, here's what I'm doing on dropship on Amazon. But then you have to sell the product at a crazy price point, and that can't be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from the consumer perspective. If you're in for the quick buck, cool. But if you're building a brand and you really want to be sustainable and you really want your customers and your tribe to really, again, be part of your tribe, it's a difficult model to do.
Yeah, I agree. So obviously, I got to bring it up at least one point. You're on Shark Tank. How'd that go? What's that whole thing? We don't have to harp on it because I know everyone probably talks to you about it, and it's one of those things where every time I got someone who's on the show, it's on Shark Tank. It's like, look, let's just make it quick because someone's going to ask me why didn't you talk about it, and then we're just going to drop the whole thing.
All good. I have nothing but great things about that experience. You know, so 5 years into the business, we're and this is right before we officially signed with Ulta and was getting ready to launch into that. So we were having the conversation with, you know, our dream retailer at the time. But you know, it was like you hit the 5 year mark and everybody tells you, it's like, all right, hey, if you survive 5 years, you're doing something right. But in this journey, as you know, we rarely celebrate our wins, right? You know, because you're just you're in it. This happened, that happened, and you know, you're looking for new retailers, you're looking for growth. So we just never really sat and celebrated our win. And so when the opportunity opened up, there was going to be a audition here in Florida. E-Comm reached out. I was like, oh, why don't we apply for Shark Tank? And we're fans. We're big fans of the show. That's where we learned about valuation and like literally everything we know about this was coming out of watching Shark Tank religiously. Like that was date night. And everyone, you say, oh, go to Shark Tank. We're like, oh, we haven't done anything yet. We're not successful, you know, but we decided to bet on ourselves. And so we applied. E-Comm had missed the audition here in Florida, and she's like, oh, okay, cool. It's not meant to be. A buddy of ours actually, he's the owner of the Gentleman Factory up in New York, in Brooklyn. So it's a co-working space that he started, and that was one of the locations for the New York audition. E-Comm was like, oh, should I go? I was like, go. We know, Jeff, you know, it's like going home. You're a Brooklyn girl. Like, if it's meant to be, it's going to happen in Brooklyn. So that was my stance on it. She goes up there, she crushes it. We get a call maybe about a week later saying, hey, we want you to do another audition tape of everyone that's going to be involved in the show. We do 3 takes. The first take was just me. We wrote a script. I'm messing up the entire time. I'm like, blah, 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 Kreyòl Essence. We do another take, just up to the 9. Perfect take. And we say, you know what? Here's 2 takes of the audition. You select whichever one that you want. They select the one where I'm like butchering my line and I'm looking like a bumbling idiot.
Of course.
And then so we're like, send. We completely forget about it. We're at a trade show in California, and I get a call, and it was like, okay, we need the other founder on the line. I'm like, yo, she's on a trade show. I can't interrupt. We're trying to make money here. Like, I completely forgot about you. And by the time we're done, we call them again. They're like, hey, we want you to move forward. We're like, oh, okay, dope. Lo and behold, long story short, they tell you it's a year-long process and it's a second job. No lie. Every night, every week, we get on a call. You're planning with the producers. You're crafting essentially the pitch. You really work. And it's like people think it's just TV. It's the same thing that you would do for an investor going through like a due diligence process. You go through the whole entire process with them. And mind you, they don't tell you that you're going on, right? So you're doing all this and you're putting this money out, you're putting this time out while working on your 9 to 5 and your business, going through the whole journey. We get out to LA. It was an hour and a half long conversation. So what you saw was a 15-minute clip, but I have nothing but great things to say because they really captured the essence of the conversation, of the story, of who we are. As you can see, what you saw on TV is who I am here today. Yeah. So they really captured that.
You're authentic.
Gotta keep it authentic, man. Like we deal with so much throughout the day. Like I think the self-work that as entrepreneurs that we don't get a chance to do in the beginning, once you realize that and like what wellness actually means for you, like that's one of the main things that I harp on to anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur these days. It's like understanding self, getting to know self, being happy with self, loving self, so that you can wake up every day to do the stuff that we do. This is not normal.
No.
What we do is not normal. You could be on top of the moon, like on top of the world at 9 a.m. By noon, you're in the bottom of the pits. So you got to know what's going to pull
you are preaching to the choir.
You got to know what's going to pull yourself back up by 3 o'clock and go home and kiss your wife and kiss your kids and be at peace, with the day that you had. So work in progress, my brother. Work in progress.
Did the show bring you guys enough business? Did it work out once it aired and all that fun stuff?
Funny, interesting story. So again, not celebrating our wins. We didn't even want to have like a showing. We were just gonna pull up, put the TV on, watch it at home, and say, okay, hey, we were on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
A friend of ours was like, no, you should celebrate this. You should have like a screening party. So we flew our parents down, friends and family, those who were just really part of our journey in the last 5 years at the time that we did this. And so, being type A personalities, like we hear the stories that as soon as it airs, you're just going to hear the Shopify, ding, 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 ding. Yeah. None of that happened, right? So we're like, oh my God, we're like the worst Shark Tank business in history. The next day, boom, like within a couple hours, like orders were just flying in. And then we ended up getting like 2 re-airings in that year. So it aired in January of 2020. Airs January 2020.
There it is.
Luckily, we had inventory that we had produced for Ulta. We didn't know we were going to end Shark Tank. They say, hey, you got 2 weeks. Get your inventory game together. Like, do what you got to do. So we ended up borrowing from the Ulta inventory to enable to actually take care of Shark Tank. But because stores were not open at the time, by the time we were supposed to launch April in 2020 in Ulta, that gave us enough time to essentially go back into production and get the inventory that we needed for it. And then March hits again. We're like, whoa. What do we do now? But again, we were able to essentially put some money into the inventory allocation so that we can sleep and get Ulta what they needed and get our .com customers what they needed after the Shark Tank airing.
Beautiful. So what's next from here? Like, what are you guys doing to keep this thing growing? What's your focus right now?
Yeah. So, I think right now we've experienced some really great growth, especially 2021. 2022 was a bit dicey, but, we realized that we purposefully slowed down to put some infrastructure in. One of the major things that I'm doing right now is a new ERP system. Woo! That's a whole nother podcast.
Have fun with that. No.
That's a whole another conversation.
I did that once. Never doing that again.
But, we realized that, coming up and building the business, like a lot of things were fragmented. And so, with the growth, it gave us the visibility of what we needed and the partners that we needed to bring in to essentially streamline. So we're hiring. Hey, everyone. Looking for to beef up our marketing team, our operations team. So that's something that we're looking for, like really key individuals who've seen this before that can essentially jump in, roll their sleeves up, pull in our creativity, pull in some of our passion. But I don't like the tactical things. We're really for strong players to take ownership in that department. We are working on some new products, doubling down
Beautiful.
on the scalp care that everyone's excited about now. That let's just say 5 years ago, we were on the scalp care tip. All right. So I got to put that out. The nature of castor oil is all about taking care of your scalp. The skinification of hair and the entire beauty sector is something that we're excited about and formulating around that as well. And I think also even right now with what's going on in Haiti, we're working with local artisans. Within the next few weeks, we're going to be launching the Kreyòl Essence Marché, which is marketplace in Creole. And so what the Marché will essentially bring in is like taking that social impact piece to the next level, leveraging our D2C platform, our Amazon, and what we've been blessed to receive in the last couple of years, and sharing that with other entrepreneurs in Haiti, and giving them that platform to essentially sell through our Kreyòl Essence Marché.
Yeah, beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah, more gray hairs, right?
Man. Yeah, exactly. One every day. Stephane, really appreciate you having the show. Awesome. Had a great time. I'd love to give you an opportunity here. Let everyone know where they can find out more about you and, of course, more about Kreyòl Essence.
KreyòlEssence.com, first and foremost. Ulta Beauty, nationwide. Whole Foods, some select Whole Foods will have the entire assortment. Also, Goop. Yeah, we're on the Gwyneth Paltrow Group website. You can find our products there.
Thanks, Gwen.
Yeah, salons as well. So we work with some of the salons at JCPenney. So you can pull your product, say, hey, I want to use the scalp care shampoo, schedule an appointment with the salon artist there, and luxuriate in Haitian beauty that you're dropping on a weekly basis. All right?
If I decide to bring a hype man on this show, would you be willing to do that for every episode? Just every time someone says something, you're like, yeah, Amazon sucks. Woo!
You know what? It's like, back in the day,
that'd be great.
Listening to the radio station, they would have like the intro of just like, the artist. Yeah. So,
beautiful.
The quick little clips.
Yes. Oh, man. Thank you so much, everyone who tuned in. Thank you as well, per usual. Whatever, man. We'll see y'all next time.
See you next.
Thank you for tuning in to the E-Comm Show. Head over to ecommshow.com to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or on the BlueTuskr YouTube channel. The E-Comm Show is brought to you by BlueTuskr, a full-service digital marketing company specifically for e-commerce sellers looking to accelerate their growth. Go to BlueTuskr.com now for more information. Make sure to tune in next week for another amazing episode of the E-Comm Show.